Ain't nobody got me feeling like I'm feeling you, like I'm feeling you, like I'm feeling you.
I'm Carrie.
I'm Lara.
And you're listening to Sexy Unique Maggots.
Podcast. Maggots.
Pumpheads. This episode was a real snooze, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The only thing I liked
This
was...
is a class action lawsuit against Bravo for this episode.
Are they telling us something with all the shots of planes?
They owe us... I would say that someone needs to institute like a Bravo fee where they have to pay us like $30 each for a bad episode. Like if you fill out the form and take the time, you should get some sort of compensation.
Every time I see a shot of the Southwest flights coming out of Burbank, I imagine that Breaking Bad scene.
Mm-hmm, me too.
I'm like, this is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm. An engine will fall onto James and Allie's house of horrors.
Maybe that would just be what they
It'd
needed
be for the best
to set them free.
Allie needs to get set free.
She's
has the dead eyes of someone that's in a relationship that they don't want to be in, but don't know how to extract themselves from.
James his body looks incredible, but he's so full of shit. I can't watch him.
His energy is cursed.
It's cursed. It's
mania.
Like he's living a lie. And I've gone from like kind of wink wink thinking he's like funny and like a fun bitch to just being like, I can't watch him anymore. He's really dark.
I'm darked out by him too.
He spent $2,000 on a pool party in Burbank for everyone because it's a really hot summer day.
Can I have a housewarming party? Spent $2,000 on a barbecue. Way to go.
Way to go.
Imagine waking up next to someone that's like bouncing off the walls in a fit of mania. Being like, go get ready for the party.
Mango, come here.
He's fine.
He clearly has to like self-medicate.
Yeah, he's full of rage, which is pretty textbook for addiction that's like not being dealt with.
And a man.
And he may not be drinking, but he's still like, things ain't right.
It's true. So we cut on over to
Katie and Ariana.
Well, first we see Tom and Ariana each brushing their teeth in their respective powder rooms. And Tom goes downstairs and Ariana is continuing to get these like funeral packages, basically. Like all these brands are just sending her giant.
This is their moment to get on the radar of the nation.
I love seeing Tom having to see them all, though.
I know. So Katie and Ariana are trying to figure out what on earth they're going to possibly wear to James' pool party. And they reveal that the Lyft driver who picked them up to take them back to Valley Village the night before was the same Lyft driver that squired Tom and Ariana to the Valley on the fateful night that Sandoval broke.
That was funny.
That is funny.
And Ariana said he didn't seem like he knew what was happening.
He was just like, oh, I took you back here before. You were like with your husband fighting or something.
And she said that a lot of people would probably want to like interview that man, but he just seems to have no idea, which
I like. He's the one person in the world who doesn't know about Sandoval.
Mm-hmm.
I like knowing that there's just one person out there.
I liked when Ariana held that mirror up in her confessional and there was a tag on it.
I like her rage.
Me too.
She feels more like authentic in the confessional. Like I want her to like lead with that. I get that it's it's still kind of early days and we're figuring out where we stand, but like I'm gonna need you to give me a little more to work with, miss.
Well, thankfully I think we're gonna see her and Tom face off a few times this season.
I don't think so.
No, we will. I think there's like in the trailers, remember when she's like, you need to lawyer up about my dog? Like, I think she talks to him a few times.
I think they're making it look like that.
Oh.
Because I think the whole thing was that she refused.
Well, what about when they're in Tahoe together, or like when they're
not? She and Katie aren't going to Tahoe. They have to stay back and work on their sandwich shop.
And what about when they're at the beach party and James like draws a line in the sand? I guess Ariana just doesn't acknowledge him.
Yeah, I don't know. It remains to be seen. I wrote, go to Tahoe, please.
Please,
for the love of God, just rent a fucking house there. It's free. Katie said, I would rather eat a jean jacket than go to Lake Tahoe.
What?
Okay.
All right.
Neat.
That's so.
I don't know. That's very Katie logic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing has been more classically Katie than asking her to do something and her going, I don't think so. I'd rather eat a jean jacket.
Can you imagine coming home at night and seeing her just eating a jean jacket?
Like part of me thinks that she has eaten a jean jacket or at least like tried it. She's taste testing for sandwiches, so I could
a
see
denim sandwich.
I literally could see Katie just be like one day in secret, totally secret, just like alone, curious. Just one night, kind of just being like, even if she's just on the couch watching TV and there's a jean jacket next to her, and I could just see her going,
I've done stuff like that.
Everyone's done stuff like that.
We cut over to Villa Rosa and Scheana and
Villa Rosa's looking beautiful in the sunshine.
Lisa heads to the front door to greet Scheana and Lala, who are both wearing bikini tops, ready to go with little wrap dresses for the Burbank pool party.
I love coming over topless to someone's house.
Lisa goes, "Why are you not wearing any clothes?"
She has a new dog named Donut.
When she approaches the door, Donut starts whimpering and she goes, "Don't cry." And then we see Sexy, her other little like Jiggy adjacent dog, Pomeranian.
Oh, I forgot. Well, I think Sexy is like the kind of fluffier dog. And then there's Harrison / Puffy.
The one in...
There was one dog at the top of the stairs that was giving like...
Jiggy.
It was like Rebecca.
Yeah.
It was like,
it had its... it was like a very Hitchcockian transition.
It was complete Hitchcock energy.
Yeah.
And it was like, I've been replaced.
Yeah.
It was true... horrors.
In a full jumpsuit.
Stiffly standing. Angel. Yeah, give them a taste.
Mango.
What is he thinking about? His eyes are open.
Me. Simon.
Mm-hmm. Life.
Food.
Oh, he looked at you. He gave you a side eye when you said food. He just side-eyed me.
He makes me cry. I can't look at him. So she sits them down.
Lisa begins. I feel like she's taken acting lessons and she began her monologue that she's practiced like with an acting teacher in this moment.
She goes, "I'm so worried about Tom Zanzibar."
She goes, "I have something to say to you both. No, I don't think you're going to like what I have to say."
And they both go, "What? What?"
She goes, "Tom Sandoval, he's depressed."
She goes, I really think he's in a bad state right now."
And they're like, "Yeah, no shit."
She goes, "I know he's depressed."
She goes, "He's a shadow of his former self. I've never seen such a thing."
Yeah, it's called MDMA.
Yeah. It's called he's a dry drunk.
She basically is like, "Look, my brother, obviously we know what happened to him, and like he reached out to me a few times talking about his depression, and I guess she feels like she didn't really take it seriously, right? Or like she didn't spring into action. Is that what she feels like?"
I guess she's like, "You don't want to live your life where something horrible happens and then you have regrets." And I'm just like, you, my love, are shameless for this.
Yeah.
Not Lisa pulling the suicide strings for the purpose of this show. This is also, just to put into context, this whole conversation is in regards to encouraging them all to go to Tahoe together to film for a cast trip.
For her restaurant in Tahoe.
And for the show that she's an executive producer on.
She's diabolical.
Girl. I mean, I respect like the shamelessness, but like, holy hell.
And she's basically like, and she tells him that Tom confided in her. I'm like, this is nice that you're like telling his, which he clearly wanted everyone to know. But she says that he has had suicidal ideation, and Lala and Scheana just go, "Well," and Scheana goes, "Well, how do you think I feel?" So I love classic Scheana.
Yeah, but
what about
also
me?
Lisa knows that Sheena's like the weakest link and the most easily to manipulated one of the bunch.
Because she starts crying.
She starts crying, and then Lisa cinches the soliloquy with going, Scheana, don't be a people pleaser. Go where your gut tells you.
Talk to Ariana.
I was like, that is fucking crazy to say to someone.
She goes, you should
don't be a people pleaser. You're literally asking her to please you.
She's like, I don't like, she says, I've had 14 years of friendship with this guy. Like, he was one of my best friends. She goes, but that means, like, do I choose him over Ariana? Because she's made it clear. And then Lisa goes, talk to Ariana.
Why don't you talk to her about
it? And then Lala's like, I don't want people to have to live the rest of their lives, like, judged by a mistake they made.
Well, then
I'm
I
like,
would get off this show. I'd quit Vanderpump Rules if I were you.
It's funny how 3 months later, how Lala, I think, as a sober person, realized way faster than everyone else, like, ooh, like after that reunion, and just, I think she like gained either for the show or I think it's genuine that she has sober.
I think there's a mixture of stuff. Like, Lala clearly is getting off her ass and working. Like, she's the one that's having the most conversations with anyone, kind of like moving plots forward, but also being fairly like level-headed about things.
Yeah. Anyway, back at Burbank, the AstroTurf is turfing.
And Ariana and Katie show up to the pool party, and Ariana looked hot.
She looked amazing.
She looked incredible. I was like, you
Her
have
body
found a
was amazing.
color. Like, the hair is fucking good. Like, everything is working.
Seeing Katie like walk up on a hot day in the valley to a pool party, just it feels so like I don't know. It just felt like
it's cruel and unusual punishment.
No, it just felt like she's so like lay person. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like, resigned to this life?
No. It's just like she's just someone that like I think Katie's beautiful and like, you know, she's had iconic moments on this show, but I think if it weren't for this, like, she would just be like another person living in the valley. Do you know what I mean? And it's just funny. Like, I don't think naturally was meant to be on TV. I just mean her vibe.
She's random.
She's a little randomista. I think Katie too is like gorgeous. And like,
totally.
But I just think it's more about the vibe of like,
She's all but stopped speaking on this show. She says one sentence per episode, cashes the $25K check, and moves on. And then she just goes and sits and glares, which I'm like, that's a pretty good job to have.
She just, to me, seeing like, she just looked like Ariana. Like, in another world, it's like your friend shows up to the party with their friend from work, and it's just like, who doesn't really speak. Oh, this is Katie, and everyone's just like, hi, and she's like.
Katie's in like a place of mustard. You know what I mean? Like, she's thinking about like sliced tomatoes and like how they're gonna. Her
last Zoom with Penny.
Yeah, she's in a place of like, oh, I have to like hire people to work at this sandwich shop.
Yeah,
like it's not. I mean, I hope.
I kind of love it. Like, I kind of love just sleepwalking to $35K an episode.
It's doing the absolute least for the money, and I do kind of respect that hustle.
35,000
times 24,
almost, it's 840 grand.
Not a bad way to make it. 35, they said 25. Maybe they're making like 27 to 30 now per episode.
Yeah,
maybe 30,000. Or are there 18 episodes a season? What's that? What's 30 times 18? Because Katie is an OG, so
beep, boop, 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 boop. 540,000.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, but she's just like, I just love that, just walking up in Burbank. Like, she doesn't want to be there. She is
really go girl. Give us absolutely nothing.
I kind of live for it. Mm-hmm. Like, I just love her. Just fuck. I have to go to this fucking.
The main scene that she had in this whole episode was her standing in Ariana's room, going, "What should we wear to the pool party?" And then them talking about a cast trip, which is basically part of the job description, to like go on these trips that are paid for by Bravo, and her going, I don't want to go. I have to go. There's a lot to do at the sandwich shop. And then they're like, $30,000 to Catherine Maloney.
And she went,
she goes, I will take that. Thank you so much.
honestly, here's the thing. After what the marriage that she endured, she deserves
$500K for life forever.
Yeah,
In
so
perpetuity.
I'm fine with her just getting her fucking bag and just not saying. I'm obsessed with her this season. I love her.
Oh, and she did say she'd rather eat a jean jacket.
Yeah.
So that was a $35K statement.
She just like tickles me. I don't know what I just like. I'm like every time she's on screen, I'm like, yeah.
You're like, yes, queen.
I literally am.
But the haircut really helps too, because that haircut is serving cunt.
She looks so good. Schwartz walking up with a flower for them, a plant, and Allie goes, oh, good, another plant.
Schwartz said there's so much more to him than people see, and he goes, I'm not an accessory to the affair. I was like, you are though.
Oh, I'm more than this. That I'm like, yeah, okay, you're an alcoholic, you're
an alcoholic, you're a fucking loser,
you're a misogynist,
you're a horrible boyfriend and husband.
Who the fuck is Jericho?
I don't know.
Schwartz goes, yeah, I've been sober curious on my sober journey, but I'm gonna have a few today.
Yeah, he brought like a bottle of liquor with him. He goes, I'm semi sober curious, so not sober.
We got a comment from someone on our Instagram being like if even people struggling even a few days is good sober, like tells a lot about who you guys are.
You're right.
I want to say you're right.
You're so right.
You're so right,
King. You've never been more right.
You've been so right.
You're right and we're wrong.
We're absolutely wrong.
James and Tom jump off the roof into the pool. I was like, this is how someone dies eventually.
It's
stressed me out.
Paraplegic and waiting. And when James goes off, everyone cheers. And then when Schwartz climbs up, you just feel the like oxygen. You just see Katie go.
It cuts to Katie and she's fire starter.
We cut over to Tom and Billie Lee going to a place called Intimacy. That's literally spelled
Into Me See. That's like Katy Perry's
That's
song.
Yo-ho.
That's Katy Perry's song. Into me I see. You cut me wide open.
It's giving Yo-ho.
Yeah. When I saw Billie Lee being put to work in yet another scene.
Okay, they better be paying her at least something decent.
They're probably paying her like $5K.
She's getting off her ass and working this season.
I mean, she's giving facial reaction, but it's like unwarranted facial reactions. Like, I've never seen a more awkward scene where someone cold plunges and Billie Lee was crouched down by the cold plunge watch. I was like, girl, just sit in a chair. Like, what? She goes,
it's so weird. This is just it's so LA, especially to see like just people just sucking the fame, like just needing to just be, you know what I mean? Just
being in the mix.
Oh, wow. Oh, whoa. Look at you plunge. It's so amazing. You're so amazing. Her looks are very Carrie White at prom.
Who's this?
It's very sissy space like going.
I was like, are you opening your eyes or did you just get Botox to hell and back? Her eyes are like
probably that. She has jackal eyes.
What if I sat next to you as you cold plunge going?
I'd love it.
Mr. Zara. He goes, it's intense.
He does a cold plunge and it's like this intense music and he's like, his body looks so good.
I know.
I hate it. And he goes,
the drama.
It's like she goes
on a scale of 1 to 10, how crazy. He goes 9. And then he gets underwater and she goes
and then we cut to Tom in his confessional. He's wearing like a green tweed.
He's wearing his Zara jacket.
He looks like Ladies Who Lunch.
He's Ladies of London.
He is. He's like a London lady at the what's that place called? That hotel where they do teas. Claridge's.
He goes, yeah, it's just crazy. I've never been like the one in my friend group who's on the outs. He goes, damn, it's like it's always the people closest to you that hurt you the most. And I was like how you did that to Ariana,
To the person
that was
closest to you in the world. Your
like what you did,
life partner.
like your actions.
You fucked her friend in your house while Ariana was in the other room.
For 9 months.
For 9 months.
You were the closest to her, and then you hurt her the most.
Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop,
He truly
he
is
freaks
like,
me out.
he has yet to understand what it takes to just get people back on his side, which is contrition and just like a sincere apology.
Okay, also,
I swear to God, there's like a piece of fuzz in my eye. It's driving me crazy.
oh, I hate it. I hate that.
Okay.
Also, like, I'm just gonna say this. I don't ever want to like doubt someone for saying they have suicidal ideation, but I'm sorry.
Girl, I doubt people all the time. That's a fair thing to do.
For him to go on the Howie Mandel podcast and talk about how Ariana was suicidal and like basically like blow up her mental health stuff, fuck you. And then to do this and be like, well, you know what I mean? And then to use that against her as he used that against her as in explaining why he was like not sexually attracted to her anymore. She was just like depressed, and then no, you can't. It feels like you're stealing her. It's stealing that a little.
I also think, look, I think two things can be true.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he very well may. I mean, I don't know what it's like to truly have the whole world be hateful to you.
No,
would be really awful. I do think it's like, it's a disproportionate amount of hate for something that was like you had consensual sex with another person and you lied about it to your partner does not warrant the level of hate that and vitriol he received.
No, I agree.
And the consequences of his actions were really intense for what went down. So I understand. And I think truly when you are canceled in the way that he was canceled, where it's like this mob mentality that just like hates you, I do think the underlying message is like people actually do want to see you like die.
No, I said like
people aren't happy until you have lost everything and you're like dead in a gutter somewhere.
No.
That like would make those people happy. So I understand feeling like that is the only way that people would feel happy, because some people don't want an apology. They just want to see you suffer. But I do think that it's a tad convenient to, at this point in the game, when you haven't apologized, you have not showed like a sincere.
I think that's what I'm saying. It's like I agree. I understand why. I totally understand why someone in his shoes would have these thoughts. Feels absolutely natural, but coming from him, it just is tinged with a little calculation.
It's so insincere.
I think,
and it's an easy out to get off the hook.
Yeah.
And I think that is a way that some people use like their own feelings of suicide. I think, and suicidal ideation can be used to manipulate others into getting what you want, because it is like this taboo subject that like it's like the final thing that you like can't tread on. If someone mentions that or throws that into the mix, then it's like, oh my God, we just have to like cow to this person and do what they want. And that's like the unfortunate part of it too, is because you can really be experiencing that, but you can also use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm here to say, let's be real about that.
Be real, Tom. That's what
be fucking real.
So we come back to the Burbank party, and Allie and Lala talk, and Lala asks Allie why James is sober again. I don't know why.
What's up with this?
What do you mean?
Like,
Lala's like, what's the reason? There had to be some like rock bottom that like, and I'm like, honey, he doesn't need. Let's evidence. Past 10 years is evidence of why you should not drink.
A few episodes ago, Lala was like, I don't honor, like, sobriety is not people also be like, Callie sober is not sobriety. She said that.
Hindsight's 2020.
And then now she's like, he's sober, but James isn't sober. He's literally like chugging weed drinks.
Maybe she says that maybe because she's like, they don't understand this the way I do, having been someone in a program of recovery. Like, so she's gonna just like speak to them in terms that they like, you know what I mean?
I think also producers are like, this is his storyline. Can you help perpetuate it? And she's like, sure, I need the check.
I think it's just easier for her to say like sober than to explain to them like, James is not sober. He's self-medicating.
He's absolutely not sober. When Lala said like, James, I'm really curious to know like way more about James's sobriety and how he got there. This is me. What in tarnation?
It's true.
When anyone says they're sober or sober curious on this show, I'm literally like, what in tarnation?
James is also so high at this party. He literally takes
he's like about to light his house on fire.
He takes like a White Claw looking
it's a weed drink.
A weed drink, and he just chugs it while everyone watches like in fun.
This party is hell. They're trapped in, they're sucking down jet fuel. Trapped here, they're going to die in a fire. James is going to be so high, his barbecue is going to fucking explode the house.
Yeah. We cut back to intimacy, and Billy and Tom talk about like Raquel. Do you think Billy's in love with Tom?
I don't know. She goes, they're sitting and she goes, just know that you are worthy and you deserve bliss. And then she goes, I'm worried about you.
I can't tell if she's in love with him or she's just like, I need to just stay close to him because this is attention. Yeah.
I need eyes on me for my comedy.
Which I think might be the case, and for that I respect her.
This is like, everyone has an angle. If you don't have an angle and you're on Vanderpump Rules, then you literally are like Kristen Doty.
We got commented on the TikTok about Brett, Mystery Brett, and apparently he was like, he did some I haven't watched it, but he did a TikTok explaining why there was a deceptive edit that made him look a misleading edit.
I probably won't be watching that TikTok.
But like everyone is suckling at the teat.
Yeah. Oh, everyone's getting everything they can out of this. Tom goes, I just want to be happy again. I feel like I'm not allowed. I was like, you're not. Good observation. Good, you're fucking not.
You're not. He goes, I miss Raquel, man. And Billy's like, when's the last time you talked to her? Billy's eye goes like this. She goes, when's the last time you talked to her? And he goes, about 3 weeks ago. And then we cut to him like on a fake phone call with Raquel. And he's going, hey, so heading out to New Zealand for the special forces, man, and be gone for about 27 days. But yeah, hopefully I'll talk soon.
Talk to you when I get back. Love you.
Love you. Like, that was not real. Raquel was at the
insane asylum. You'd literally, the last time you talked to her, begged her to end her time at the insane asylum and like come back to you.
He goes, Raquel, he goes, she's like extended her time at the place, and it's just like, it sucks, man. Like, I just miss her. And he goes, it wasn't like we were just fucking, like, having sex and hanging out. He's like, hanging out was the best part, man. And Billie Lee's like,
tell me more.
She goes, Billie Lee's kind of giving like someone at like a haunted hayride who like an actor who comes up to you when you're turning a corner in a haunted house and goes.
She's giving like the heads in Beetlejuice when they would go snake around and then get in your face.
Scheana, the girlies talk in the pool back at Burbank, and Sheena's like, Lala or Lisa told us that Tom has said he wanted to kill himself, and
Ariana's like,
she goes, that's not genuine.
I love that.
I went,
preach, sister.
That's the energy I need. She goes, I don't believe it's not genuine.
Not genuine on. She knows he was such an amazing friend to me, and she goes, wasn't real. She's like, I can't trust anything he says. Like, what, you expect me to go on my Instagram and be like, everyone be nice to Tom? Like, it's just trying to get back in everyone's good graces. Again, he like skipped over the part where you say you're sorry and like ask for forgiveness from people. Even if you don't mean it, it's just like, that's the step that you take next in this way of going. And he I started to realize like he's never been a person that can apologize or own anything he's done. It's always like, but you did this, or like what you did was so much worse. Like it never is just like, hey, I did this and it was really fucked up.
Yeah. And also like Ariana, again, like I do think like the reaction to Sandoval became too big and like unhinged at a certain point.
Yeah.
But I think we should trust the person that was in the same bed with him for a decade. Like she knows him best. And like if she's saying
Not
don't
real.
trust this person, listen to her.
I know, but also you guys got to film.
But you guys gotta film.
It's just hard.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying.
I also enjoyed the Lala and Schwartz conversation because once again I was like, Miss Kent is working for that money. Miss Kent, they said, Katie, we ask her to do things and she just stares at us. So can you just please step in and talk to Schwartz?
She goes, and then they put the check in her mouth and she goes and walks away and she goes right to Bank of America.
Right to the bank. So Lala and Schwartz are talking, and I do like that he brought up like that, acknowledging that Ariana has been exalted to like queen status and like can do no wrong. And I just love an acknowledgement of that because that's also a disproportionate reaction to what happened.
Well, it's also like a risk because like you're gonna build this person up and then she's gonna do something like human and then it's gonna be like time to stone her.
Yeah.
You know?
And in the vibe of the friend group, it's like there needs to be tension about that, and I would love to see a fight about that.
I think Lala and her are gonna have a fight about it. I think Lala is slowly building a case against Ariana.
Lala is literally an attorney.
Because Lala, she's brought a lot to this show, but
She sucked on baby bottles.
She sucked on baby bottles and she gave us...
And sucked on Randall's ding dong.
But she also, like, I think wanted to be... I think she feels like she should be as famous as Ariana. And I think she's a little, like, glitching about it.
Like the same exact thing happened to her.
Yes.
The same thing.
So
maybe not the relationship wasn't as long, but it was like...
I mean, she had a kid with this guy, so, like, that's pretty big. But yeah, I think she's also like she's a little irked by it, I think. And I think she's slowly going to build her case against
Ms.
Ariana. James is a fucking mess. His eyes are blood red. He's unwell. You can overdo it with weed, and he's overdoing it with weed.
Yeah, he's partying.
He's blitzed. Blottoed. Stoned. Then we cut to Schwartz's house and Joe. I kind of love Joe.
Crackhead Joe. Crackhead Joe finally makes an appearance after literally a year of teasing.
She looked like more normal than I thought she would.
Less like a crackhead than you thought she would.
Yeah, I guess so. She's cutting Schwartz's hair because she is a hairstylist, and I just love this chaotic queen. She's literally that Benny Drama hairstylist character.
She is
Jenny. Hey babe. That's literally Joe.
That is Joe. I was like, these guys are at their best when they have
Mummy.
A girl around. They need like a pick-me girl to kind of flank them and
Raquel.
Agree with everything they said. And it was Ariana for a while, then it was Raquel, and now Joe has stepped into the role, and I couldn't be happier.
Yeah, Sandoval comes over and Schwartz and him talk, and Joe just periodically goes, ah! She goes, yeah, absolutely.
She goes, I like that.
She has a giant glass of beer, and then they cut to her and she just has a Corona bottle. I'm like, she is getting to it. It's 3 p.m. You know, she's like, I'm off the clock. I just punched out of work. She made her money for the day.
They won't even like let her really speak more than like monosyllabic reactions. Like at one point she's, yeah, I really liked it. And then Sandoval just railroads her and they start talking about something else. So then she knows that all she's allowed to do is chirp agreements.
Yeah, she goes, yeah, I love, she goes,
she goes, finally.
She goes, I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Schwartz says that he and Joe have never been BFGF, but she did stay with him sometimes. And then he was like, we did have the whirlwind romance, but now we're just buds. I was like, this is literally probably what this man did with Katie for years before they were actually together.
Oof.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what their MO is.
Like
old
you
Joe.
you friend zone someone and then you're like,
yeah, or you're just like a situationship with someone.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I just can't imagine Schwartz having sex.
I think he just like...
I really can't.
I can only imagine someone like riding him and then him kind of like flopping on you.
I used to think he was so hot.
There is something about him.
I know.
When
Scheana,
Sandoval comes over, Schwartz is like, I want you to come to Tahoe, but you have to be like chill with the girls. Like, how are you gonna be with them? Like, can you like apologize? And Sandoval goes, yeah, I'll apologize. I'll be like, Lala, I'm so sorry I gave you so much content for your podcast. He cannot humble himself. And he's like, they showed the world they showed the entire nation how to treat me. I was like,
no, you showed them. You fucked your basically spouse's close friend. They weren't best friends as
behind her back. For
Rachel.
months you carried on an affair with someone that was a friend to you and your significant other. For months you carried on this
often
affair.
in your own house.
On national television it played out, and you lied and deceived this woman that you claimed to love and be in partnership with for months. So that's why the nation has turned on you, and everyone else is just like, this is Hollywood and they need a paycheck.
It's unreal.
It's unhinged.
But I will say I love when Rogue Levis posted that.
She said the show is his higher power.
That was
on
amazing.
her podcast. That was a powerful
God,
statement.
she's good.
God, Rogue.
But she posted like an edit where it was just all the time Scheana talked about Tom Sandoval on her podcast, and I was like, it was just like a super cut of Scheana going, Tom Sandoval.
Well, Sandoval
said that. Well, Sandoval.
Raquel said she did the edit herself and it took her a day and a half. Raquel spent 36 hours
Queen of
putting
Honesty.
together a master cut, doing her own socials.
Queen of Honesty. That makes me think it was her that actually reposted us.
Yeah. Then we cut to Vanderpump Dogs.
Okay. I took photographic evidence of this.
What?
The windows at Vanderpump Dogs.
Oh my.
Full of mucus.
They haven't been washed in a decade.
Like, I'm sorry.
This is classic Vanderpump location,
It's
though.
classic.
This is on fucking brand.
If
They
I'm
go,
sorry,
Lisa, should we clean anything or do what? And she goes, whatever.
Save the money.
Do it or don't.
That's Windex. That's all you need is a little rub-a-dub-dub. Like
That should be a daily thing that happens.
at basically a dog shelter.
I mean, have you been in Vanderpump Dogs?
Yeah, it smells like
It's a piss kingdom.
But I'm like, are you kidding me? This is normal to these people. This is acceptable.
Yeah. We go,
What in tarnation?
Look at this. It is rancid. Rancid.
What in tarnation?
that's a both. That's also a keep ho.
Well, no, first this is kind of stupid.
What?
Scheana and Brock go to dinner with James and Allie.
Okay, Summer Moon is so damn cute.
She is.
She makes me cry, and you know who she reminds me of? Tony. She has Tony energy.
Aww.
And I mean that in the best possible compliment.
Sheena's bisexual lil sis friend Tori, who's gonna be in the love triangle with Schwartz and Katie, comes over to babysit, but her sister Courtney comes to help because she still is like,
she's a little paranoid.
But she goes out and they meet them and they walk into like a some kind of like
a beer bar.
beer dispensary, and she goes, I love a night out on the West Side. I'm like, no one loves the West Side. She is the
Queen of the West Side.
Of the West Side.
Moves to Marina Del Rey once.
Yeah.
I love on West Side nights. Also, when Tori came over to babysit, she leans down, like Summer Moon's playing with like a doctor kit, and she grabs like a fake syringe and she goes, "Do you do Ozempic shots?" to this 2-year-old.
And Brock goes, let's not talk about that in front of my daughter.
I love that. Summer.
So they meet Allie and James, and Scheana goes, I got a Heineken Zero.
What is Heineken Zero? Is that like a
Non-alcoholic.
non-alcoholic? Cool.
Yeah.
Is it 0 calories?
No, I think it's just no alcohol. I got a Heineken Zero.
I'm gonna Heineken Zero.
I don't really. I have to be honest. I didn't write any notes for this scene.
All I wrote is Sandoval is coming to Tahoe. That's what they all discuss. And Allie, truly, I'm like, sister, blink twice if you need us to extract you. She is in hell.
She is.
Yeah. It's like she's now entered the vortex of like, I want to be on TV, but I don't want to be in this relationship. But this relationship is the only thing that will allow me to be on TV. And I also live with this person.
Yeah.
And I thought that once they stop drinking, I might like them more. But actually, I
hate
don't.
them.
And now I don't know what to do. I'm also like 25.
She goes, not like this.
Not like this.
Then James.
Allie's eyes are going.
She's that Parker Posey meme. Best in show.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, we cut back to Vanderpump Schnitzel dogs, and that Summer, the marketing director, I'm like, honey, start with the windows.
It's called Bounty.
I could not believe. I mean, I can believe it because it's a fucking Vanderpump establishment, but I was also like,
You're filming. At least try and make it look clean.
I guffawed when I saw it.
I jabole.
I was bold. And then James comes in to talk with Lisa, and Lisa goes,
Lisa FaceTimed him the day before and goes, "Can you talk? Can you give me 10 minutes tomorrow?" He goes, "What, am I in trouble?" And she goes, "Aren't you always in a bit of trouble?" She goes,
she goes,
"Come suckle on mommy's jugs tomorrow at Vanderpump Dogs. I have a little teat for you."
and he walks in, he goes, all right, what's going on here, woman? All right, bitch, why'd you bring me here? And then she goes,
"Why'd you bring me here, you old bitch?"
why'd you, he goes, why'd you bring me to this piece of shit ramshackle?
"Hey, cunt, why'd you bring me here?"
Hey, fuckface, why'd you bring me to this piece of shit? And then she goes, do you recognize anyone? And then
She goes, "Do you recognize this?"
she goes,
She goes, "Do you like what you see?"
she goes, I know. She goes, I know it's been a fortnight
Since you fed. She goes, "Getting older, my milk reserves aren't what they used to be. But I'd love to feed you."
The last 7 minutes of this last 7 minutes is so cursed.
It's just like a long, slow close-up of James leaning down in Lisa's lap to breastfeed from her for 7 minutes. And it's like a softie just like slowly gets closer and closer. And she goes, "Do you like that?" So insane. And then Graham gets on the other teat.
And then passerbys walking through the dirty windows.
They can't even see because the windows are so dirty. That's why she
crowd,
keeps
yeah.
them dirty. It's like a tint. What you want, you old bag?
He's like, oh, what you want here?
He goes, "All right then, what you got?" And
Yeah,
and
come
all
on then, tell me what you brought me to this piece of shit.
What'd you bring me down to this dump for? The drive was 40 minutes. Traffic was shit. And then all of a sudden, just milk squirts him in the face. Squirts him in one eye. And she's with one tit out and she goes, "What do you think? What do you think I brought you for?"
She goes, She goes, it's been a while, hasn't it? Since you sold these old bags. You sold these old bags. And he goes, and then James goes, Mom.
Mama. He goes, give me milky. No, that's not what happened, actually.
She goes, do you recognize anyone? And then fucking Graham Cracker comes barreling down the stairs, freshly shaved.
I'm going to say something. Graham's a fucking menace. Graham does belong on a farm, not a kill shelter.
No,
obviously not. But like, this dog is going to bite Allie's throat out.
I know that my last thought was poor Allie.
Also, like, you're taking a dog that, and I truly do believe Raquel's story about Graham. Like, I don't think that she would send a dog to a kill shelter, period. And I think we know exactly which older English woman loves a story in the press about a kill shelter journey for an adopted dog.
She picked up her rotary
Miss
phone.
Lucy Goosey Apple Juicy might have something to say about this.
She picks up her little old fashioned. She goes, Radar Online, have I got a story for you? She says, I hated this scene so much because knowing what Raquel told us, and I fully believe Rachel in this about this story, that James was basically abusive to this dog, and like the dog was afraid of James, and he exacerbated Graham's
anxiety and like personality
deviant
disorders
behavior. James, like, he goes, is that Graham? And she goes, yes, darling,
just come say hi.
And then he starts crying, and he's like, I'm just so mad that, basically saying like, Rachel, how dare she?
Like, took it. Lisa goes, he's going to go to the kill shelter. And he goes, no. And he goes, he's my best friend. I was like, he's not.
You haven't thought about him in months.
Yeah, you don't give a shit about this dog, and this dog doesn't give a shit about you. It's ready to go take a shit on the floor.
He goes, every time I see a golden doodle, which is the most popular dog in LA, I think, I wonder what Graham's doing.
No, you don't.
Don't
lie.
I really think Rachel really loved this dog.
I think so too, but if a dog is like, sometimes you get a pet and it's a cursed pet and it doesn't work out and it needs to just go to the next home. And there's always someone somewhere that will take a dog, usually. I mean, sometimes that is not the case and dogs do end up in kill shelters, and I don't agree with that. But I do think that there's a way to make sure that they don't. And for Graham, that might be a farm.
Yeah.
Give him a job that is a farm and a good life where he can't like maul people.
Move him to like Montana to like a sheep farm.
Yeah, but I don't think that putting this dog that was like known for being a vicious biter in a house with 2 cats and a woman who's at the end of her rope is like the answer. And a person that was like allegedly like abusive to them.
Yeah.
Lisa goes, he belongs with you.
She's evil.
So this is evil.
Diabolique.
Classic Lisa. Lucy Goosey Apple Juicy vibes as hell.
He goes, come on, Graham, let's go over to Burbank. And I went, Allie, I pray for you, doll.
Imagine Allie, she's sitting on like the corner of the bed. She also is like, you know that she's done like people's charts and like knows the truth, even if she doesn't want to admit it. And she's just sitting kind of on the edge of the bed, just staring off into the distance. And she hears like, Allie, I'm home. And hears like, and like
Madam Web turns around in the wheelchair with her sunglasses on and goes, I know, I heard you. I saw it.
Meanwhile, Lisa's just sitting smiling, snug as a bug in a rug. She goes, my plans all falling into place. Graham's in the valley. The cast is going to Tahoe. And little Miss Rachel might be coming back after all. This is like before they understand that Rachel will not be coming back.
Graham has a heavy karma.
Graham was like a serial killer in a past life.
Graham, he needs to be...
He is Jesus.
Yeah. I feel for him.
I think he needs to be...
But the vibes are not good with that dog.
He needs to be in a home with like one other person. He honestly... Cesar Millan.
Oh.
Yeah. He needs to be like with Caesar.
I need a Caesar.
And then we get the suicide disclaimer again. I go, not again. I'm going to call in and be like,
Please stop.
VPR is so boring. I'm going to kill myself if you don't make it better.
No!
I'm going to go tell Alex Baskin. They go, hello, this is 1-800 don't kill yourself. How can I help you? And I go, I'm going to end it all because VPR is so fucking bad this season. They go, I know, you're the 10th call we've had this morning. I go, well, what am I going to do?
Don't do it.
And they go, don't do it, sis. It'll get better. They go, think about where you were season 8, season 9, and then it was so bad and you thought, I'm going to give up. I just can't take it anymore. And then look, what happened? You got season 10. They go, it's not for nothing. You have a great podcast. People love you. People love listening to you. It doesn't matter if VPR is bad. You'll think of other things to talk about.
You had a city inspector in your closet telling you how good your podcast is.
The city inspector, Brian, that came over, he's a big fan. You have shows happening. Like, it's good, sis. And I go, you know what? Thank you.
You say, I'll live another day.
You're right. You're fucking right.
You're right.
Thank you. And they go, love and light, girl. And I go, thanks, guy. And then hang up. And it's good.
Guys, we have our shows coming up this Sunday. Our first show, February 25th, the Bourbon Room in Hollywood, California.
The Q1 tour kicks off strong in LA.
Doors at 7, show at 8 in Bourbon Room. And then next week, nearly 5 days later, we head on to Oklahoma City.
We're having an epic weekend, kicking off Friday night, OKC, Saturday night, Dallas.
I need to say something.
What?
Dallas and OKC, we love you, but you guys, all the other cities are showing you up with ticket sales.
It's like almost like I'm not even from Oklahoma, the way people are not turning up for this show.
I have to say, it's making me sus.
Of me?
Making me not believe you're actually from there. We have a show at Resident Head, OKC,
Old
Friday night.
Resident Head.
March 1st.
Something we're both familiar with.
It will be
It's a cool
lit.
venue.
It's a
gonna
really
be,
cool venue.
Look, the show.
It's Laura's homecoming. Make it a good soft landing for her.
I know. I should reach out to some people.
Galvanize. I'm galvanizing I have very few connections in OKC and I'm reaching out. So we all just have to this is a community effort.
This is
Support
what
queer
OKC
art.
needs to say once we show them the ticket sales.
You guys are in a crisis. I'm on my way.
It's true. We need Super Nanny to come in and just galvanize the people of OKC. This is a queer crisis.
Because literally our agents send us the ticket counts and LA pops the fuck off. Austin popping
Berkeley.
the fuck off. Berkeley is literally gaping for us.
Yeah.
And then if she shows us OKC and Dallas and it's like,
I used to float, now I just fall down.
It's true. Guys, we're not
what's wrong with you people?
And then
Don't you want to
next-
laugh? I know it's
Where's the
February.
laugh?
I know
Where's
it's
the-
February in the plains. I've lived it. But
But-
guess what? This is a respite.
But guys, March 1st is kind of the beginning of spring.
March.
The Ides of March.
Yeah.
And March 2nd, Dallas, Fort Worth, tulips. We will be there. And it's going to be so fun. But we also need Dallas to show up. And guess what? I'm going to say it. If more people come, we're all going to go to the roundup after.
And also in OKC, we're going to go to Cowboys OKC after. So there's a big old after party. But in order to get in, you have to come to the show.
And
because I'm going to give a list. I'm going to make sure you can't even come to anywhere in OKC. I'm going to call everywhere in OKC and I'm going to put you on the list of no for that entire night. The only place that you're allowed to show up is first the sup show and then you can go anywhere else after.
But guys, come on. It's going to be so great. Make our Lone Star Plains sojourn.
Be proud.
Be proud.
Be proud to be an American and living in Oklahoma City. Your
Be
cost
real.
of living is so good. You have it great. Make it even better by coming to the show.
Austin, I think there's 12 tickets left.
Yeah.
So Austin's about
gonna
to sell out. So let's I just saw Laura's hair go. Let's make this worth our while, worth your while. We love Texas. I know I'm going to love OKC. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Do it for America.
Let's do it for the victims of the Oklahoma
No,
City bombing.
don't you dare.
I will invoke the OKC bombing and say,
Damn.
look, it affected all of us.
Damn, sis. You went there.
I went there, and let's think about them, they who cannot come to the show, and instead honor their memory by you coming to the show. That's what I have to say.
And with that, let's shout out the cult members.
Rachel in Dublin.
Rachel in Dublin.
Gina Sapienza.
Gina Sapienza.
Little Miss Bitch Cunt.
Little Miss Bitch Cunt.
Sarah Elizabeth.
Sarah Elizabeth.
Lucy from
Lucy
London.
from London.
Brooke Johansson. Rachel Knight.
Knight.
Brittany Ryan
Right,
Weiss. Danielle McMillan.
Macmillan.
Glynis Topping.
Glyn.
Lady Swamp, which gives no fucks. Lazara. Molzatov. Mary. Mike Earhart. Carrie Oakes. Sharon Baum. Realtor. Timothy Shield.
Look, I'm doing Billie Lee. Timothy Shield.
Claire Worsley. Matthew Thomas. Owsley Robinson.
Ooh.
Kathy West. How are her eyes not dry from being open all the time? Maybe she's doing Upneek. Rochelle Martino. Kit Moore. Hillary. Orlando. Patron of the Farts. Nick Sedaris. Emily. Kim Lucas. Jeffrey Pradama. Guys,
we love you so much, but
this podcast simply would not exist were it not for
the patrons.
Like,
and especially
you're the reason that this podcast has been able to be a podcast since 2017.
Thank you so much for your continued patronage.
We
Cult
love
members,
you.
We love you so much.
But come to the show. For those in Dallas, ask yourself, if JFK was still alive, would he want to come see Sup Live? And the answer is yes. And so you should come.
See you in Texas, y'all.
Bye.